it wasn't recording? No, I'm playing.
That was a good one. You actually got me for a minute. So I was like, after all that we did, that was a good one. That actually was good.
Yes.
You had me.
That's good. And we got him on camera too. Multiple angles. Let's go.
Because I jumped over like, oh.
Wait, what? Beg pardon.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Reginald Bullock, and we have Trey Wilder, and this is Just Living Life. Thank you for coming back and checking us out. Hopefully you have been watching the videos, learning from the videos, and watching us have fun making the videos. What's up, Trey?
What's up, Reggie? I got a question, bro.
What?
So, like, you just don't like, because you said good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You don't like nighttime? Like, you don't care about nighttime? I'm just asking just for clarity. That's all. You said, like, we like to have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Just, I was curious. You got a problem at nighttime?
No, but how many languages do you speak?
I made a couple. I made up a couple myself, though. So
yeah,
that's
so
why.
like, bonsoir, monsieur. What's that?
Hello, madam.
Sabah Noor.
I don't know him.
Right. So Sabah Noor is Arabic for good evening.
I didn't know that, actually.
And bonsoir is French for good evening. And buenas noches is Spanish for good evening.
Mm. Is that night or evening?
Buenas
Noches?
noches. Because it's noche and you think it's night.
Yeah, I was thinking night.
Now, the other piece that you said, what did I have a problem with? What was your term?
Nighttime.
It's not called nighttime. When you go to different countries, they say good day and they say good night. So at night, they say good night.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't say nighttime. They say, like, in the morning, you say good morning.
Yeah.
At night, they say good night.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with it, but who says that?
I say good night. Like, they got the acronym GN.
You just
good
said
night. Like,
yeah.
But
you said nighttime.
Well, I was asking because you didn't say nighttime. Like, you mentioned evening, morning, the day. You didn't say nothing about night. That's all. I just noticed that. I was curious. That was all.
So what does AM stand for?
Morning.
And what does PM stand for?
Evening.
Past morning, right? So, I mean, you can call it what you want, but good morning, afternoon, and evening. I am Reginald Bullock, and this is Trey Wilder doing what he does, and I'm doing what I do. Welcome to Just Living Life. Matter of fact, Stevie Wonder has a song that says, good morning or evening, friends.
I don't know.
Is your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody.
We do have some serious news, actually, to pass on. To
What do
folks,
we
I
have?
guess.
And now speaking of, impact into society, kids, parents, that kind of leads me to inspiration, personally. I don't know about you. But my question to you is this, Reggie. Outside of, like parents and, like those close cousins and stuff like that, who would you say is the biggest inspiration to you becoming you? Who would you say that would be?
Wow. Because the journey in life, you meet so many people, and they impact you. They give you a couple tools, and now you have it. And then your stages in life, you got some people that walk the journey. But the one person that's been with me the most was my mother.
No, I'm saying like not outside of family. Outside of
family.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
that
you,
inspire me.
Yep, and you could have met them or not met them. Like just
got it.
In general.
Man, that's hard because it's several. It's several. Like in later day, Daniel James III. You ever heard of a guy named Chappie James?
No.
First black 4-star in the military. He kind of started the Tuskegee Airmen, the Eleanor. Anyway, his son was also Daniel James III. He became 3-star general, director of the Air National Guard.
Okay.
And he was like a father figure to me and a mentor. I think when I was a captain in the Air Force. And so him being a black officer at that level understood what stuff is that you got to go through as a black officer.
Right.
And he and I would have those kind of conversations, but he would also navigate me, mentor me,
right.
coach me. He would come over my house and we would talk. And I was his exec at times and helped him out. But he was an example of perseverance and just intestinal fortitude. I remember when they wanted to make him the 3-star general, all of a sudden all these investigation things start popping up. And so now they got to investigate him, right? For almost a whole year. Not, we want you to be a 3-star general, we'll send you to Capitol Hill, sit in front of Congress, and get your Senate confirmation on, and you good.
Yeah.
2-3 weeks, maybe a month. No. Before that even happened, they wanted to play with him. And I watched that, and he would just help me to understand certain things. When he goes back to his hotel room at different conferences, he put on Boney James and just chill. He was an example, and that the inspiration piece is that he was just one generation after Tuskegee Airmen started, because that was his day. And so he went through some stuff. He was an Air Force pilot, right? And then the Tuskegee Airmen, they went through stuff. Right? Bread and water and sleeping in a tent in the snow. I mean, and then get in the airplane and fly, and the airplane's cold. Right? And so he just taught me stuff. He would show me how to do things. When he's up there on stage doing a speech, afterwards, I would ask him, can I have that speech? He said, sure, here. And I look at it, and I would see how he scribbled all over it, wrote this. I'm like, so this is how you do it. And then one time he gave me a speech that he did, and I looked at it, I was like, this doesn't sound like anything you said. He said, I know. He said, my speech writer wrote it. I didn't like it, so I just... He said, but you can have it anyway, Reggie. I was like, wow, you didn't even use it. And he had his own speechwriter. And so, but he was always able to be that general officer, be a gentleman, be a friend, be a fatherly figure. And the interesting thing, I think it pissed everybody else off, but anytime we were in the same room together, he would come to the position of attention and bow because he knew that I was a martial arts master. And as far as he was concerned, I'm sensei, and so we would be in some high level places. And we both be in uniform. He's got 3 stars, and I got an oak leaf cluster, right? And all of a sudden, he's bowing to me, and everybody like, what the heck is going on? And he didn't even care. Right. And he would do that, like, all the time. No matter where we were, the moment he see me, he'd walk up, and we bow.
You got to be consistent, though.
Oh, no, and I think he just did it because he could. Yeah. So, there are many more like him that inspired me. But that's a time period, and he's one.
Okay. See, I feel you on that, because there have been so many influential people like in my life, right? If I had to pick one again, it's tough, but I would say, and I've never actually met the man before, but Kobe being Bryant, you know what I'm saying? That's why I got the man's jersey. I'll talk to me.
I knew he was going to get to that 24.
But no, he's been very inspirational.
And still is.
Yeah. I'm about to say for a multitude of reasons. Because when he was living, he inspired me to play basketball, which also helped me network and really helped make me to be the person I am today. Then you also got when he died, and it's it just kind of helped motivate me to get the show up and running, get a bucket show, which now has morphed into the network. So I'm trying to build up, which that's another person. Another person that inspired me for the networking part. But again, he helped motivate me to actually get up and not just start keep planning the show or keep thinking about it. Just get up and do it. So, execution. So again, I would say Kobe would be that inspiration piece for me. But
can you remember who might have been your inspiration when you was 13?
Kobe.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, but it's been consistently Kobe, just because Like when I got into basketball heavily because I saw him do a 360 dunk against Portland when I was 6 years old, so that was 1998. And then ever since, it was just like he's always been consistent.
The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation believes that routine screenings can save lives and that access to these services should not be a barrier. Our mission is to promote eye health education, free eye exams, free eye screenings, and free glasses to our communities with the focus of highlighting early detection. The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation also gives individuals with low vision and blindness the opportunities to be a part of certain community events regardless of visual impairments.
At least like in terms of that idolization standpoint.
So I do have somebody like that.
Who was yours?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
I'm a Bruce Lee disciple.
Okay.
Man.
What about Bruce Lee makes him a big fan for you? Like,
first of all, he can fight.
Uh-huh.
He's a bad dude.
I mean,
and he can fight anybody. And he wasn't afraid of anybody.
Not at all.
He would fight any human being on earth.
It's the intangibles.
Yeah, but the other thing is he was just a master at so many things. He was a philosopher, right? Had a degree in that. He was a science. From the scientific element of martial arts in the human body, he created so many things. You know how we use all of these fitness equipment, and they used to call them Nautilus and Universals and stuff like that. He invented a lot of that stuff because he needed to train. Okay. So he came up with a lot of that stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, he wrote the movies that he didn't get credit for. You know, for instance, Kung Fu, that whole series that became a multi-million-dollar series, he wrote that. And they stole it from him.
That's tough.
And David Carradine, a white guy, plays a Chinese guy. They stole it from him. And then Green Hornet, right? He wrote the Green Hornet, and they stole it from him. Literally, Hollywood stole it from him. This guy was so talented. He had built martial arts studio in California, just learning how to speak English, and just made this empire, created Jeet Kune Do, a whole new martial arts. And he was just confident. Okay. 100% about anything and everything he did. His fitness routine was amazing. His 1-inch punch, right? To be able to do that and knock a person 6-7 feet, 1-inch punch, I can show you. But he just mastered so many things. And then he could fight. Like, I was from the hood. Yeah. So I had to fight whether I wanted to or not, whether I liked it or not. And I got my ass beat a lot. So how do I stop that? Try to be like Bruce Lee.
I get that. Plus, too, he also had swag about himself as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, that was always... Like,
but you know why? He was a champion dancer.
I didn't know that.
He was the champion cha-cha dancer for China.
Really?
The country.
I didn't know that.
Long before he could even fight.
You gotta have good footwork.
He was a cha-cha dancer.
But I didn't know he could move them puppies like that.
He was the champion cha-cha dancer.
For how many years though? Do you know? How long was his?
Like high school.
Okay.
And then he got into boxing.
Okay.
And got his butt kicked, and then he started focusing on it, and he got good. Then of course, he started learning kung fu.
I feel like once he realized boxing won't it, he was like, you know what, I can use my feet pretty well too. Let's use these. Let's move them puppies again. It makes sense now. Hey, Bruce Lee was smart too. He was smarter than what we give him credit for. You thought I honestly just.
And I think he still by far is, and was, and is the baddest martial artist that ever lived.
He's the most known because when you think of martial artists,
I'm thinking skill sets.
No, I'm saying when I think of martial artists. I think to the average Joe, that's the first name that pops up, Bruce Lee.
Depending on the age, right?
Who else would you
Some people think Jackie Chan is the man. Jackie Chan is good too, by the way.
He's cool, but I think he's more actor though. Like
Bruce Lee started off an actor. Bruce Lee's dad was just like Jackie Chan. They did opera.
Wait, what?
They did opera. That's a play. That's the show. Bruce Lee's dad was into that. And Bruce Lee was part of that. And Jackie Chan did that. Okay. And so all of that stuff is moving to the body, but it's different in China than it is here. Okay. But yeah, So, but he can fight. Jackie Chan can fight.
I mean, I'm sure he can fight. I just always gave Bruce Lee that nod.
Definitely.
And he just seemed more masterful with it. You know, Jackie. I'm sorry, maybe you did a disservice with partnering with Chris Tucker because he dropped it.
Jackie Chan's good.
Jackie's smooth though.
Yeah.
Jackie's also inspiration as well too, because he actually does his own stunts as well, and not everyone does that. Because like I wouldn't mind doing a little acting, but like that's a lot right there to remember your lines, to actually learn how to take hits and falls, because that's an art form in itself. Like I did jiu-jitsu a little bit, and they teach you how to brace for your fall, and like you gotta cup your head and then hit the floor. So I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Like, so like if I ever fall, I'm still gonna mess something up, but I know at least afterwards, dang, I should have done this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
you know what? I haven't taught that. I think Monday when I teach class, I may teach people how to fall on Monday. I haven't taught people how to fall in a while.
It's very important.
Oh yeah. I did jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, no, it's very important. I was like, but there's so many inspirations out there though. Like, I was just curious if you had one. Like, easily, I think mine is easily Kobe. But like,
Bruce Lee. I mean, because you think about it, right? There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about, talk about, and do martial arts.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's not a day where I don't talk about sports. Like,
exactly.
Like if y'all look at my group chat, right? Oh no, in my phone, there's so many group chats, but like there's at least 3 of them that are allocated specifically for hoops. Like specifically. Matter of fact, I met maybe like 12 random guys just because I knew one guy from hooping, and they're all younger than me too. So they call me like old or whatever the case may be. So sometimes I be like, it's not worth it. I need to get out of this chat. But they also are inspiration as well, believe it or not, because they'll be talking and they have their own show as well. So I mean, the fact that they
inspire me.
See, I feel like everybody can inspire everybody,
even though you're old.
I think I'm young, but apparently a couple people have been saying I'm old. So speaking of inspiration, we are closing out 2023 soon, and a lot of people have New Year's resolutions, but I'm not even thinking about it like that. My question to you would be is, what are you inspired to do next year? I'm actually inspired to have my business blossom a little bit more. I am inspired to create more skits. I'm inspired to have more content out there. I'm inspired to have a better structured show as opposed to this year. This year I think I had a good step forward, but really it's more so just about moving forward and progressing. So that's really what I'm thinking about in 2024, which is why, to your point, I also believe in New Year's resolutions, because you should also be trying to progress continuously. So I agree with that. How about yourself?
So 2 things. One, New Year's resolution is always funny because, teaching martial arts, a lot of times we're at a gym. And every January, the parking lot is full. If I get there at a later time, I got to park all the way over, walk. And by February, the parking lot is emptied out. By March, it's back to normal.
Right.
So all of the people that had your cars at the gym in January and your car is not still at the gym in February, March, and April, that's your New Year's resolution. Y'all one of them. So for me, in 2024, I had an awesome 2023. I mean, I wrote 2 books and got certifications. I did a lot. But in 2024, I want to make it about revenue. So I built a lot, right? I built a nice coaching practice. I am a keynote speaker. I am that guy to do workshops and things like that. So structurally, to your point, how you were talking about structure, the structure's there. I'm certified with the government. All of this stuff is in place now. Where last year, this time, it wasn't like it is now. And now that the structure's in place, the banking stuff, the admin stuff, payments and invoicing and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Now it's about clients and revenue.
Okay.
And making that money, and not making just basic money, but going after the kind of money that you can be debt free.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is smooth too.
Sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. Whether with coworkers, friends, family, we all love the entertainment. Well, here on Get a Bucket, my goal is to talk about sports and its cultural impact. The WNBA, for example. The WNBA is loads of entertainment. From the new rookies battling, displaying their skill sets, and preparing to take the league by storm, to the titans and the MVPs of the league clashing for battles we'll always remember. From imagining the soon-to-be possibilities, to admiring and treasuring the finales. Get a Bucket is a platform where other sports analysts, hoopers, coaches, and fans of the show come and talk about the WNBA, both negatives and positives. So if you haven't, take a quick peek. At the very least, you'll have a good time. Remember, sports is one of the few things that genuinely...
Are you going to be focusing on that clientele aspect now, or are you going to focus at that January 1st?
I'm focusing on that clientele months ago.
Okay. And I asked that. I have a friend who...
I ain't starting in January. I already started.
So I have a friend who has a business that they're trying to bring up, right?
Yeah.
And they've been telling me about it for a little bit. I've consistently told this person, like, yo, you need to start on it. And to their credit, they have tried to set a goal, a date that this is the deadline. This is the date that when I'm going to initially start everything. Cool. I'm not mad at that. But then I hear, I'm thinking about pushing it back. So I immediately told him, you're not going to do it. Like, you're not going to do it if you push it back. Like,
I've been an entrepreneur since I was 6 years old. And one of the things that I've always learned is just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Because
it's not going to be the way you thought it was going to be. It may take longer than you expected. You're probably going to make a lot of mistakes and screw some stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just start now, whatever that date is that you have in your head, well, maybe by that date, you will have learned enough that you're doing better.
See,
It's
tough, though, because I will say, sometimes I will... All right, so I like to plan stuff out, right? It skimps on the execution piece sometimes. So it's like, I don't know, Reggie. Like you do need to make sure you do your due diligence. And I think sometimes for example, if I throw a video out there, there's still some effort that I have to put into that video in terms of editing it. So if I haven't thought about it and I feel like it's a crappy video, I feel like that's a waste of time too. So that's why I'm also like, I get it. I do understand their point when they're saying, they want to start at this date just because they want to make sure they do all this research and all this stuff. But also to your point, sometimes you do just have to go out there and just do it and accept failure because that's how you learn too. You do improve.
The reality is, why are you doing any of this stuff in the first place? And most of it, if it's a business, is to make money. So the question is, at what point do you want to pay your bills? Next year? Year after? So when I hear people talk about business, I'm like, all right, when do you want to pay your bills?
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times too, especially in this space, because I was actually talking with one of the Neos, and like he said he's trying to focus on the business aspect of this videography world. And I'm like, it makes sense. It's hard to do because I really like the edit. I don't like the editing, but I like the editing. I don't like doing this, but I like doing this. You know what I'm saying? So, but you also got to focus on
paying for it.
Yeah.
So how you gonna pay for it?
Yeah, and
those green screens you got, right? Mm-hmm. Did the business buy it or did you buy it?
Business bought it.
All right, if you say so. and so the point is that for those people who delay or procrastinate or plan, mm-hmm. It's like, okay, if you don't have no bills to pay whatsoever and you can just play business, fine. But if you about to hustle, mm-hmm. you want your money now.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my book, right? It's all about the hustle.
Right.
I want to get my money now.
Exactly.
I want to buy a house now. I want to buy a car now. I want to buy a suit now. I want to buy equipment now. Well, all right. You're not going to get any of that until you get revenue. You're not going to get any revenue until your business is up and running. Yeah. And your business is not going to get up and running if you're sitting here just planning. Yeah. So I get it. Mm-hmm. And that's fine if people have that mindset. But then 5 years later, what are they doing? Yep. Nothing.
Exactly. Like there's...
Still talking.
Yeah, like so. There's this anime that I'm watching, and like I binged it too. Cause I started like years ago, but I fell off anime in general. But I'm trying to get back up to it. But I binged it back up there, and I'm realizing a lot of some of the concepts that they have in this show is some of the stuff I wanted to have in my own anime as well too. So it's like I don't think I missed a mark or anything like that. I don't think like my time, if I want to have my own anime show, I don't think that window's closed. But I can't say, oh, well, it's completely unique or whatever the case may be, because someone else has already done it too. But now when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't like this aspect. Maybe I didn't like this or this, that, and the third. So now I can go back and make some changes. But I have to actually do it still. So, I mean, like, I can plan as long as I want to, but eventually that anime got to go out there. So, I mean...
Well, I mean, back to the inspiration piece.
Mm-hmm.
You can be inspired, but then to do what? So a lot of people feel good. They get emotionally satisfied from all kinds of inspirational things. But then there's another step to that, right? So what, now what? You're inspired? So what, now what? I'm inspired to do anime. I'm inspired to make a movie. I'm inspired to DJ. I'm inspired to write a book. And I'm like, that's awfully nice. I'm glad you're inspired. So what, now what?
Right. Like, what's next?
What's the now what?
Yeah. Like, someone actually just asked me, why do I like doing, again, stories? And I told them, again, I want to inspire somebody else. I want someone else out there. I wanted to help someone else. So my aim is my inspiration is to inspire someone else. So
But we talked about some of the other benefits to doing these types of things that will enhance your brand.
Yeah, that does too.
That will allow a lot of people to know about you who didn't before.
Fair.
And therein lies other opportunities because of the content for people to discover you who are able to afford to pay you to do X, Y, and Z because technically you're interviewing every time you put something out there and they're watching you every time. And they may watch you for a whole year and be like, you know what, let's go get this Trey guy.
Yeah.
You know, because they've been watching you and they've gotten comfortable with you. When's the last time you met Damon Wayans?
The last. Never.
Right. But you feel like you know him because you've seen him a lot.
Yeah, he cool.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what your content that you're putting out to the public is going to do to the public. They're going to get comfortable with you. They're going to get to know you.
And you want to make people comfortable around you.
Right.
Like in life in general.
And they're going to get inspired by you.
Hopefully.
I mean, and then the next thing you know, somebody's reaching out and calling you up and say, hey, you know, we want to have you on our show. We want to do this, and we'll pay you X amount of money for it. And none of that would have happened if you didn't do something.
Yeah.
And I was just having this conversation with a client yesterday and another one today. One thing leads to another.
Oh yeah.
One thing leads to another.
Everything builds on top of one another.
Yeah, if you think about your successes of where you are today, you can trace it back to something that was going on that led to that thing happening, but it was something before that and something before that and something before that because you executed. Yep. You did what you were supposed to do.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, there are just so many examples that you can give. You know, if you hadn't become a member of Cap Alpha Psi, you know, we wouldn't be here, right?
Facts.
And we wouldn't have went fishing, and just so many things wouldn't have happened.
Yep.
If you didn't do that, if you didn't make line, right? But then, how did you make line? Well, prior to that, there was stuff that you did that led you up to that point. But if you don't execute and all you're doing is planning, one thing is not going to lead to another because you haven't done the one thing.
Exactly. So, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, as he clearly articulated, things build on top of one another. We stated that before. I think in the foundational piece, actually, in that foundational episode.
Oh yeah, you had a lot of gifts. Is you call it gifts or gaffs?
Gifts.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them in there. But everything builds upon one another. So again, just it's good to create your foundation and plan it, but you eventually you do want to expand, but you can't really expand if you ain't really starting to.
I mean, you cannot live inside of or on top of or around a blueprint.
Yeah.
An architect can design so many different things and create so many blueprints, but you cannot sleep in it. You can't run the water, but it's a nice plan.
Exactly.
Can't live in it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's good to have plans. Trust me, I like to do my due diligence. But as Nike says, just do it. It's okay to fail, and please I'm saying this to somebody who, well, it's easier said than done, so I get it. But Reggie, I don't know if that's if you have anything else you want to say about inspiration.
No, I think we good.
Okay, I was about to say. Well, I'm very thankful and inspired actually, because when you got Thanksgiving actually tomorrow, so I'm about to be eating a bunch of plates.
I know it's Thanksgiving, but it's also Native American Month, Indigenous Peoples Month. So, if you think about the history of Thanksgiving, how it came to be, a lot of times folks talk about turkeys and Native American and corn. You have all of these representations of images of Thanksgiving.
Right.
But it's also Native American Indigenous People Month.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to present that.
No, you're actually right, because I think on my, I was wondering where this went. Actually, on my, on my calendar, it says Thanksgiving, but then it gets like Indigenous People Day, like the next day or something like that. So, you're absolutely positively right. See, that's why you got to have multiple people on the show. If I mess up or forget to add something, he got my back and vice versa. But so that's why I'm thankful for this brother right here. So Reggie, with that being said, I think we can close up shop. So everybody, hope you all are enjoying the episodes thus far. I hope you like this one particularly, because this one was a redo. So I'm very thankful for you to have some time on your hands to help me get this one back. But please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. This is Reggie. We're the hosts of Just Living Life. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.